The air conditioning in the hotel room was broken, and that meant I had to share not only a room but also the suffocating heat with Ethan. If God had a sense of humor, this was it, forcing me to spend the night inches away from the one person I'd spent years pretending I didn't want. I tossed my bag onto the bed nearest to the window, trying to act casual, like this was just another inconvenient business trip. He laughed, that familiar low laugh of his that always made something stir inside me. "Guess it's just you and me," he said, and I swear my heart betrayed me by skipping a beat. We'd known each other since college, best friends, worst enemies, and everything in between. Ethan was the golden boy. Charming, reckless, the kind of man who drew people in without trying. And me? I was the quiet one, the guy who always kept it together. That night, though, in a cheap hotel off a highway in Chicago, the facade I'd been wearing for years started to crack. He threw himself on the other bed, his shirt clinging to his chest from the heat. My throat tightened as my eyes betrayed me, lingering too long. He caught me staring, smirked, then turned away like it meant nothing. But something about that smirk carried weight, like he knew a secret he wasn't supposed to. "Do you ever think about us?" he asked suddenly, his voice cutting through the silence like a blade. The world tilted. My first instinct was to laugh it off, to make a joke. But his tone, raw, unguarded, stopped me. "What do you mean?" I asked, too careful, too cautious. He sat up, eyes locked on mine. "You know what I mean." I wanted to deny it, to roll over and hide. But his gaze didn't waver, and I saw something there I'd never seen before. Fear. Not the fear of rejection, but the fear of telling the truth. Ethan had always been bold, jump off cliffs, take risks, live loudly. But now, confessing whatever this was, he looked like a boy stripped of armor. "You're drunk," I said, though neither of us had touched a drop. He shook his head. "I'm tired of pretending, tired of acting like I don't look at you and feel everything I'm not supposed to." The words hit me like a punch, every defense I'd built over the years collapsing in an instant. I turned away, my chest tightening with something dangerously close to relief, but also anger. "Why now, Ethan?" My voice cracked, betraying me. "Why say this now, after all these years?" "Because we're stuck here," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Because if I don't tell you now, I never will." The night stretched long, thick with silence. I should have walked out, should have told him it was a mistake. But my feet didn't move. My heart, reckless traitor that it was, kept beating in rhythm with his. The second day passed in awkward tension. We worked side by side, pretending nothing had happened. He cracked jokes, I rolled my eyes, but beneath it all, something new simmered, something fragile and dangerous. That night, back in the room, it all broke open. I was brushing my teeth when he said it again, this time firmer. "I meant what I said yesterday." I froze, toothbrush halfway to the sink. "Ethan, I've loved you since junior year," he said, words rushing out like a dam breaking. "Every time we fought, every time I teased you, it was just me trying to hide it. I didn't know how else to deal with it." My heart ached, half with joy, half with pain. I remembered every moment. The way his hand would brush mine at parties, the way he'd look at me a second too long when he thought I wasn't watching. I'd buried it all, convinced myself it was just me, that I was the fool. "You don't get to say this now," I snapped, anger flaring. "You don't get to throw this at me after years of silence." He looked shattered, but he didn't back down. "Then hate me, yell at me, but don't ask me to keep lying." The fight ended with silence, both of us staring at the ceiling, too close yet impossibly far apart. But somewhere between midnight and dawn, my anger softened. I rolled over, watched him sleeping, his chest rising and falling. He looked peaceful, vulnerable. I reached out, almost touched him, then pulled back. Because if I touched him, there'd be no going back. The third night, the storm outside trapped us in. Rain lashed against the window, thunder rumbling like the echo of our unspoken words. He sat on the bed, staring out. "You ever think maybe we wasted too much time?" he asked. I swallowed hard. "Every day." He turned to me then, and for the first time, there was no smirk, no mask, just Ethan, raw and real. "I don't want to waste another second," he said. And maybe it was the storm, maybe it was the way his voice cracked, but something inside me finally broke free. I crossed the room before I could second-guess myself. My hand found his warm and trembling. His eyes widened, hope flickering like a flame. And then, before I could talk myself out of it, I kissed him. The world fell away. Years of denial, anger, and fear dissolved into that single moment. His lips were desperate, mine hungry, both of us clinging to something we'd been too afraid to claim. When we pulled apart, breathless, he laughed softly. "Took you long enough." I laughed too, tears stinging my eyes. "Shut up." We collapsed onto the bed, tangled together, the storm outside raging as if to bless us. For the first time in years, I felt at peace, because we weren't pretending anymore, because we were finally us. And as his fingers laced with mine, I knew we'd wasted time, but we hadn't lost it. We'd found each other in the mess, in the heat, in a broken hotel room in Chicago. Sometimes love doesn't come the way you expect it. Sometimes it hides in anger, in silence, in years of denial. But when it finally breaks free, it's unstoppable. And that night, in that room, so were we. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.